Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the Chafing Armor podcast, where we scratch your itch for fantasy role-playing. I am Dare, and I am your Dungeon Master for this evening. We are beginning our trek through the Dragon Realms, and this adventure should take us far afield from anywhere that we have gone before, into a realm ruled by dragons. And they seem to have control of entire cities. Tonight, our players are joining us. So first we have Rylee. Would you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Rylee, and I'm playing Honey Robin, your favorite pink slime Plasmoid monk.
Fantastic. I'm glad we have Kleenex. Next we have James. James, would you introduce yourself?
No. Yes. Hi, I'm James, and I am playing Zoc, a Changeling Barbarian who's really not sure how to wear regular people clothes.
Well, I'm just glad he's dressed. Next we have Michael, if you will introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Michael, and today I will be playing Willowand, a wood elf druid who is very, very happy to have some fancy clothes for once.
And we're glad he's dressed also. And finally, we have Izzie.
Hello, everybody. My name is Izzie, and tonight I am playing the role of Hob Silver-Slinger. They are a 48-year-old half-elf artificer. Why couldn't I remember half-elf artificer off the top of my head? Don't ask me.
Because there's so many possibilities. And apparently
there are a lot of them.
The changeling is confusing everybody by what he can change into. And so we are in our adventure. Our intrepid band has come to the palace of Amal Marduk, the red gold dragon that rules the city of the people. As he was helping you locate your homes, his vizier, who was carrying a very large map, turned out to be a mimic assassin, spewed out a necrotic cloud that tried to infect you all, and may have infected one of you. And you soundly beat it, and as Hob roasted it with flame strike, now you stand before the king covered in ash after you had freshly bathed, and Elias Heartstring comes running up to you. He has grabbed some vials from a doctor that carried them in, a cleric, and hands them all to you to drink. And you see these vials being passed out around the room and everybody taking a drink. What are you going to do?
She takes it, she sticks it in her head, and the fluid drains out.
Wow,
Okay,
that
no.
is an image.
Both of us, I'm sure, have just started drawing that.
I would just like to do a quick medicine check.
Yeah, how do we know that cleric also isn't a mimic?
I got a 15.
From what you can tell, this is some sort of regenerative elixir, much like a restore potion or restoration potion, and it seems completely safe.
There's a ghost memory of a previous character who has been mentioned recently who regretted drinking something. However, Willowand looks at it and says, "Bottoms up," and glug glug glug.
You see Elias drink one as well, and including a pitcher being brought to the king, and the king drinking it as well. And after everybody has drunk and satiated their need for healing, all the vials are collected and carted off by the servants.
Zoc doesn't drink his. He's fine.
Okay. Zoc does not drink his. Does he keep the vial?
Oh, yeah. I assumed it was a gift. Just puts it in his pouch.
Okay. Mark down 1 cure of necrosis potion. Cures
Hob
all.
wasn't
Cures
going
all.
to drink theirs, but they saw Elias or Elgin do it, and they thought, well, if that dude's doing it.
Elias Heartstring, yeah. And
Oh, I think I got those two mixed
Yeah,
up.
Elgin-
They both have E names.
yeah, Elgin isn't currently with you. Elias drinks it. But yeah, you're welcome to keep it. It's a potion of healing of necrosis. And so it heals all necrotic damage.
Oh,
Well,
sweet.
I have lost 1 hit point. That one precious hit point. Yeah, Hob drinks it to recover that 1 precious hit point.
It was in case you were going to be infected with that. And around the room, you see guards now lining the doors. And you see a cleric going around and touching everybody on the chest, checking them to see, you assume, to make sure that they are not a mimic. So the king turns to you all and says, I am deeply thankful for what you have done, and I am ashamed that you all were put in danger in my own throne room. I will award you justly that you shall have whatever equipment, but I would ask a boon. This shows that we have an enemy that is still here in the Decapolis, and I would have you take a personal message from me to the other rulers of the Decapolis, verifying the messages that I will be about to send out. Will you take up this job, this boon, this quest for me, and you will be greatly rewarded?
I would do it in a heartbeat, Your Majesty.
Excellent.
Two right.
You will see the armorers when we are done here. You will see the weaponsmiths when we are done here. And then you will be escorted to our fastest ship to carry this message across the Decapolis. Elias, will you see to preparations? Why, of course, Your Majesty. I will do everything in my power to see that your will is done. And so Elias leaves the room, and the king, his massive head lowering almost down to look at you, his eye as large as your bodies, looking straight at you, says, let me tell you what has come before. Several years ago, when Elias came into my service, we had been fighting a cult that had been trying to bring back some sort of dragon god related to Tiamat and Bahamut. Someone that worshipped death. Word quickly spread, and we quickly eliminated this cult. But not before a necrotic magical disease claimed one of the cities. The city we now call the City of Ruins was wiped out before we had any chance to prevent it. Only through the work of great queens of the Dragon Realm, Skilpata over in Jormungand, was a cure found and then distributed to all the cities. The City of Ruins is no more. The people there are gone, and it is a reminder that where we were 10, now we are 9, even though we keep the name. We keep it as a reminder of what we had and what we lost. I would like you to go and speak to Queen Skilpada in the city of Jormungand and give this warning and request that production of the elixir of life be begun again. How say you?
It would be our greatest honor.
Yes, what Hob said. I just wanted to verify. How are we going to get there?
You will have my fastest airship.
Finally get to do some of that flying there, Hob.
Captain...
Yes. Many times before, yes.
Captain Krerex Stevor will be the captain on the Fancy Guppy. It is actually the ship that brought Elias here many years ago. And it will take you back to the city on the Sword Sea. You will leave tomorrow morning. I think that will be time enough for you to gather armor and weapons and provisions for this trip, and the blessing of this city and all of the Dragon Realm to carry a warning and protection to everyone.
Okay.
Do you have any questions?
Is there anything else that you think we should know about this group? Anything that we should be on the lookout for? Just anything? I still feel very flummoxed.
At the moment, you all and the other survivors are all the knowledge we have of this. We got wind that you had been taken captive, and we sent people to rescue you. Elgin brought word that you were being kept down in the sewers, and so we mounted the attack, but you had already helped free those that were down below. All we know is that they are attempting to invite something in that means us harm.
I think Massgate has had enough of that, from what I remember. I would be greatly honored to assist you.
I would be very interested in your knowledge of the events that happened at Massgate in the last few years. We have only a limited amount of communication with those lands over the Dragonspire peaks. Those that broke off from this land many, many millennia ago did not want anything to do with the Dragon Realms. Understandably, when we were having wars and people were being consumed. But now that we have brought peace and the cities prosper, I would be very interested in developing new relations with those out to the east.
Perhaps trading relations. Yes, this sounds quite nice. I cannot say that I was personally involved in any of this, though the events did personally affect me, as my time in Massgate was much. Oh, never mind. This is not. Your Majesty is not. Is above the petty issues of ailing merchants. Please, let us prepare our time for on to Jormungand.
Your involvement here and showing that you are for us and not against us, that I will make sure your fortunes from here on out, as much as possible and within my control, will be generous indeed. And that's when Elias comes back in and bows to the king and says, "If you all will follow me, I will help you get your equipment and what you need." And so you follow Elias out of the hall, unless you all have anything left to say to the king.
I don't think so.
Hob bows deeply.
Thanks for the healing. Appreciate it. Helps a lot. I wasn't feeling good. Feel better now.
King looks down at you and goes, "You are a curious one. I have not seen the like of you in my kingdom before. Welcome, and know that you will always be welcome here, Honey Robin."
Aw, shucks. I appreciate that so much. That makes me so hard to hear.
And Elias gives the king a bow and directs you all out of the hallway and takes you to what looks like the City Guard Armory, there where you are brought in, and there are a number of smiths and clerks working in there, and the Elias says, "Well, now, here you are. You are welcome to find yourself any armor or weapons that you would like. Over here on this wall are some exceptionally crafted weapon that I would suggest you take a look at, as well as some very fine armor." And so in this room, over on the wall that he has shown you, are some weapons and armor that are magical.
Ooh.
And so you begin to look. What would you be looking for, Zoc?
Well, definitely if you're going to make available a magic great axe, I would take that. Plus 10.
There are several large axes that you find, and you find yourself a +1 axe.
Awesome. As far as how high up does the range of armor go?
It goes up to full breastplates, full everything but full plate mail. It has ring mail, it has scale mail, it has chain mail, breastplates, so everything but full plate mail.
And those are magical too?
They are.
Oh. Well, I might actually consider wearing some armor then. I might look in. I'm going to see how a breastplate does here for my AC, because things turn on and off depending on whether I'm wearing armor.
Okay, and while you're looking at that, Willowand, are you looking for anything?
Well, I did want to see if there was any, maybe some studded leather.
There is a fine set of studded leather armor that is +1.
Yeah, I'll definitely take that. And I did lose my quarterstaff down in the sewers, blocking up a door. And my hatchet is nothing to write home about. So if there are any staves, I would be most interested in that.
You see a staff made of metal embossed with copper and silver, and it wraps around with a nice leather grip around it, and it has silvered tips, and it is also +1.
As much as I desire that greatly, I do not generally use metal weapons and armor. The studs in the leather is about as far as I go.
And you see some 2 hand axes that are +1 as well, finely wrought.
Well, again, it can't be made of metal. My hand axe is basically a club, because I'm a druid. And there are some exceptions, but in general, my primary weapon and armor needs to be more natural. So I will gladly take this studded leather, and I will temporarily depart from the party. I'm actually going to go into the wooded area that we saw earlier, after coordinating where to meet up with everyone, so I don't get horribly lost. And I'm just going to go and find a staff from one of the fallen sticks, and carve it a little bit with my hand axe, and say a prayer to the Wild Mother to bless it.
Okay.
And I'll meet with the rest of y'all later.
You are escorted by one of the city guard, and he goes with you to make sure that nothing untoward happens, considering you are now a hero and well respected. All right, Hob?
Hob, I think amongst a massive, or amongst a menagerie of magical items is quite in their element. They are combing through the different armors as if they owned the place, sort of picking up different ones, looking at them, holding them up, asking questions to any people who work here, like what sort of schools of magic were used to enchant this here piece. If you use a bit of evocation, it can actually increase the price value of the pieces. What they're actually thinking about in terms of their own self, though certainly I think they're having a blast, just sort of browsing. Would probably be looking at the armor. They currently have scale mail armor, simple, nice. Technically, there is better armor that they could be wearing within their proficiency, which would be they might be looking for some half-plate armor.
There's some half-plate. 1
extra armor and still stealth disadvantage, just like their scale
It is
mail.
+1 as well.
Hob has some other shopping plans that don't necessarily have to do with the menagerie of magic armor and weapons. They as they're doing all of this, they have a little leather-bound book that they've been scribbling notes in. It looks like there's been a lot of pages used already. They flip to a page that has a drawing of armor with it, and a lot of different labels and different diagrams on it. And they look over at Zoc as they get their new armor, and they write some things down, and then look at Zoc again, and then scribble something out. Hob has recently learned, as a level 2 artificer, a thing or two about infusions. But the material components for the infusions that they're thinking about creating wouldn't necessarily be found here. I don't know if narratively it would make more sense for them to go and do that now, or let Honey Lemon have her turn here first.
If you speak to Elias, the king indicated that anything that you all want or need would be made available to you. So,
well, you see, there is a component for a rather potent spell that I'm thinking about attempting for myself for the first time. You see, I've encountered many of these things before, but I could not ask of you to give me something of this value without a proper exchange, but you have already given me 15 pieces of platinum, and I would be more than happy to purchase a gem or crystal worth at least 100 gold pieces with this money you have already paid me. I would not ask of you to give me something so valuable just for nothing.
And Elias cocks his head at you and goes, "You are now in service of the king. You have taken on this quest. And the king specifically said that you are welcome to be equipped with anything that you want right now. And so you have but to ask, and it will be provided."
My. Well, thank you very much. Is there any place I may go to see this, these things? I suppose any crystal would do, perhaps. I've always been a fan of sapphires.
Yes. I will take you to the banking district, and I will escort you there myself. Snaps his fingers, and you see Talovar appears. "Yes, sir. I'm here." And Elias fills him in on what's going on. So Talovar will stay with Zoc and Honey Robin while Honey Robin finishes her little bit of shopping or escorts them to wherever they need to go. So Hob and Elias take off for the banking part of the city. Honey Robin, are you looking for anything?
One thing I'll...
Okay.
One thing I will just make clear for things that would be important in the future is that Hob buys a sapphire on Elias's dollar and make sure to get a bag with that purchase as opposed to carrying it on their person.
Okay. Excellent. Artificers are quite useful. All right, Honey Robin?
All right, so I'm looking for. See, I like to do darts. Heavy, strong, sharp darts. Poison, more like effects, the better. What do y'all got? I'm very curious.
There are several darts, throwing stars, all sorts of things for you to peruse. You're looking for poison darts?
Poison, just any effects in general, just something real shocking for the system. See, no one's really expecting to be hit by one, and then when it's really sharp and it hits hard, they won't be waiting for the effects, and then, anything that will knock out, poison, burn, just a little kick to it, a little special, something.
I don't know that we have anything like that here in the armory, but we do have some very good silvered darts. They are excellent against undead. They are balanced and true. And so he goes over and gets a bandolier of silver darts, and there's 20 of them, and they are all +1 to hit.
Everything's better with a bandolero.
Yep.
Very true.
You have a bandolier of silver darts.
Okay, sorry, I was writing that down.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much. I would gladly take these off your hands.
You are welcome to them, ma'am. We are thankful for your service, and I look forward to working with you in the future.
Oh, why aren't you just the sweetest thing? I cannot wait to throw these. These feel like they'll throw some damage. She holds them and she kind of tosses them in her hand, and when she does, they kind of like glop in when she tosses them up, and then she tosses them back out, and there's a as they fall out.
Excellent. All right, so as you all finish your shopping, is there anything else that anybody needs? All you have to do is ask Talovar for any supplies, or Elias, or the guard that you are with, there, Willowand, as you are searching out a tree to turn into a staff.
Yeah, Willowand thinks about what happened earlier, and he asks the guard if are there any might we be able to lay our hands on a potion of healing, anything like that?
Well, I am sure that we will be able to supply you each with a number of potions. Those are standard issue to the city guards. So, yes, we will be able to get several for each of you. And so, waiting for you on the ship when you are there, you will each get, let's see, you will get 3 regular potions of healing each.
Ooh.
All 4 of us get 3? Oh, wow.
Each of you get 3.
Well, okay.
I'll say, I think they weren't thinking about it earlier, but just because everybody else is, Hob does take a look at what weapons there are available, and would be happy to replace their normal mace with a fancier mace.
You find several either flathead or spiked or flanged maces for you to choose from, all artisanally crafted and mastered smithed. They are silvered and +1. So you may pick one.
They get a nice sort of flanged mace. They hold all of them, kind of holding them up to the light and looking at them under scrutiny, as if they have had a lot of experience handling and appraising magical items in their past.
And you have rarely seen such a magnificent mace made available to the public. You've seen
Quite seldom that one of these came through the shelves of Silver-Slinger sundries. I give my compliments to the artisans who made these.
the king takes pride in having everything that his people, his collection of people, could ever want.
We've just become part of his horde.
Yeah, you're not wrong. And so, as you all gather your stuff, any last requests, anything you want to get, you get all provisions, your clothes, you get changes of clothes, you get foodstuffs. If there's anything else specific, otherwise you will start heading towards the courtyard and towards the airship that will take you out to Jormungand.
Honey Robin, do y'all happen to have like a bunch of dyes, like just color and stuff in general? It can be food dye, it can be fabric dye, anything strong too. Bright colors preferable, nothing kind of gross and bland.
Battlemaster, Tor Ovar looks at you kind of quizzically and goes, I believe the royal tailors probably have such things. We'll pass by there on our way back to the courtyard, so I will gladly let you speak to them, and you can get whatever you need.
Perfect. It's very important, you see. Just trust me, it is. It's very important.
The king has put us in your hands, and so I am glad to assist.
All right. Well, since we just have kind of a blank check here as far as like minor magic items go, I do have some javelins I'd like to switch out with something a little better. If they have those.
Then yes, you can find some +1 javelins.
Excellent. And then I'm also going to switch out my hempen rope for some silk rope because it's lighter weight, takes up less space.
Easily done.
Excellent.
Just make some notes. All right. So after you get all your shopping, last call. Ollie oxen free.
Ollie
Hob is already.
All right. So you are.
Hob is already getting on to doing their tinkering.
There you go. A little bit of tinkering. You are led to the ship, and as you all individually approach with your various guides to this ship, to where you will do your tinkering and resting, you see these spiral staircases that lead up to these various airships docked at the edges of the palace walls. The one you are being led to is a long, sleek wooden ship carved in the shape of a fancy guppy fish. It has a head, and then it has a normal ship body. The prow of the ship is a fish head that is very sleek and aerodynamic, with almost a spire on the prow. Then it has some sails that are furled that stick out to the sides like fin. And then it has a large disc-like tail that reflects rainbow light upon it. And the hull of the ship, the wood, is carved into and painted rainbow scales. And as you come aboard, you see a minotaur and a dragonborn standing at the head of the plank as you come aboard. And they say, "Welcome." The minotaur grunts at you and says, "I'm Ishmael. And this is Captain Krerex Stevor. Welcome to the Fancy Guppy. And that's where we'll end this episode of the Dragon Realms. Thank you all.
So what you're saying is we should call him Ishmael.
You should call him Ishmael.
Hashtag book reference.
Maybe we should call him Fishmail, since it's the Fancy Guppy.
Ha.
Thank you for giving us a ship called the Fancy Guppy.
I know, I'm so excited.
Every D&D campaign needs to end with an airship called the Fancy Guppy. It's just a rule.
It's one of my favorite ships that I've ever come up with, so I am quite pleased. And for those of you that have been with us all the way back to bit strips, if you go back and search my old bit strips, you will find a picture of the Fancy Guppy. But it's not the same ship.
That's awesome.
So,
You'll have to share that.
But
thank you all. And Michael, would you be able to tell us where everybody can find us?
absolutely. You can find us at chafingarmor.com to get most of the information. But if you want to join our community, you want to go to patreon.com/chafingarmor, because that's where our wonderful community with people just like you has access to the Discord, where people like me occasionally post spoilers accidentally. So you want to check that out. But there's also cosplay, there's information, there's potentially early release items, all kinds of fun stuff you will find. It is the best way to support this show and keep us ad-free so that we do not bring the horrifying sleep demon into our world of
No more Casper. That's right.
No more Casper. He is super dead now. So to keep that from happening, go to patreon.com/chafingarmor.
And also, if you wouldn't mind throwing us 5 stars on the various podcast catchers, we would be very grateful, and we will continue to give you lots of extra content. If you follow us, we will entertain you and bless you with lots of stories.
Gesundheit.
Thank you all for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
so
Thanks
much for
for-
DMing.
Thanks for the guppy.
And we will see you next time on Chafing Armor, where we scratch your itch for fantasy roleplay.